Dang. What's going on, YouTube? This is Big Pencil coming at you again with a nut. It is Wednesday, July 29th, which means Saturday coming is only 2 weeks away from opening day of deer season here in the state of South Carolina in this particular game zone. Always starts August 15th around here. It has ever since I've been living. It has for a long time. I like it that way. We get a pretty early start. You know, we get the earliest start in the country as far as I know, and gives us a chance to take some nice velvet bucks and I guess get out there and sweat in this friggin' heat. I'm backed up in the shade here where it ain't scalding hot out here, 'cause I guarantee you it's 95 degrees every day down here, and it gets a little rough sometimes. But I figured I'd take a little minute to show you what I'm gonna be using this year on the dog drives and on the dove hunts, and you know, show you the gear that I take out there in the woods with me. Stand by, we'll go get to it. All right, first off, I'll show you the guns to start with. I know a lot of y'all seen, you know, I bought the Benelli Super Black Eagle 3 on a previous, you know, review video, and I absolutely love this shotgun. I hadn't really shot it a whole lot, but the times I've shot it, it's like a Cadillac. It's a fast pointing gun. It's just as smooth as you'd want to have it. I can put my finger right there and knock that safety off, and I'm there. And yeah, of course this shoots 3.5-inch shells, which I don't think I'm really going to shoot very many of. I did shoot a few just for the, you know, video purposes, you know, show y'all how to pattern with it and all. And you know, it's got the 28-inch barrel. It's got the mossy oak bottomland camouflage pattern on it. It's got the extended modified in it that come with it. You know, it comes with two of the extended choke tubes when you buy this gun, and didn't have to shim it or anything. Came from the factory just like this, and it fit me perfect. Didn't have to do anything to it. So this is probably what I'm going to be primarily hunting with this year, but I will switch it up, I'm sure. You know, get toward the middle of the season, want to do something a little different, and you know, I might grab up the old A5 or the Maxxis and give them a barrel cleaning, blow the old dust out the end of the barrel on it. But that's going to be my primary hunting gun all the way around. I'm going to shoot doves with this thing. I'm going to hunt ducks with it, deer on the dog drives. This is probably what's going to be in my hand. It just, I'm telling you, if you know what I'm talking about. If you own one, or if you pick one up in the store, it fits absolutely like a dream. Yeah, it's a little pricey, but you know, I guess you just got to bite the bullet and deal with it if you want to have one of these. And but that's my primary shotgun that I'm going to be using this year. Put that out the way. And of course, y'all recognize this gun. This is the A5 that I shot last year, and it is an outstanding shotgun as well. I wish it didn't have this Duratouch on it, but you know, it is what it is. But you know, this is of course the 3-inch gun with the 28-inch barrel. Got the factory modified in it that come with the gun. It is a nice shotgun. I killed a lot with it last year. Killed a lot of doves with it, a few ducks, a few deers. One of them's on the wall in the house. You know, that big 7-point that I killed last year. I got it mounted just because that was the first deer that I'd ever killed with my youngin' on a man drive, dog drive, or anything like that. That's the first one I ever got to shoot at on a man drive with her. And oh, she was tickled to death with them 2 bucks run up to us like that, and I killed both of them. She was ecstatic about that. So I got the bigger one mounted, and I'm gonna end up doing show you my mounts once I get my 2 ducks back last year that I got in the taxidermist from last year. I'm gonna show you my mounts. I don't have a whole lot of them. I got a few deer heads, a couple European mounts. I got a big fish, them couple ducks that's coming, and that snow goose that I killed, it's actually still in the freezer I hadn't took it up yonder to the taxidermist yet because they wanted $600 to do it, and I just wasn't paying that much. But I got a friend of mine that actually does taxidermy work on the side, and he agreed to do it with me for $450, which is what he charges for a big goose like that. So I was, well, that's probably as cheap as I'm gonna get it. And I've seen some of the work he does. He does a really good job. So once maybe all this pandemic mess kind of straightens itself out and we get back to work, you know, for the most part, I'll probably end up taking that goose to him and get him to do that one up for me. Because talked the wife into letting me put it up in the main room of the house there. I don't think she knows exactly how big a snow goose is yet, but she's gonna find out once I put that big rascal up there on the wall. Thing's got a wingspan like that freaking wide. She'll figure it out. But that's the main two guns that I'm gonna be shooting. I will shoot the Maxes with the rectifier chokes in them a little bit too. And but my brother actually likes that guns. I might, you know, I'll probably let him shoot it when he comes, and my nephew let him shoot it when he comes. And, yeah, it's always good to have a couple backups in case other people come that don't have guns like that want to shoot one, and you know. But you know, buckshot I'll be using more than likely. If any of y'all buy buckshot or ammunition of any kind, y'all know there is a lot of shortage out there. Somebody calling me. A lot of shortage out there on ammunition. It ain't very easy to come by right now. I don't know who that is. They leave a voicemail if it's important. Buckshot's pretty hard to come by right now. I had to buy this. I bought this several months ago. You know, probably about 4 or 5 months ago. I bought 4 or 5 boxes of the Winchester. You know, that's just old Winchester 3-inch 15 pellet double aught. You know, standard 15 pellet load. You get those. You can get them from Walmart. Usually they had them in the 15 pack, but I had to get this from Wayne's Woods and Mortar up there in Orangeburg. And I got a few boxes from Woody's Pawn Shop, is where I got the Remington, the 3.5-inch Remington shells from. That's where I got these from, pretty sure. But yeah, I buy from both of them. As long as they got it in stock, I'll go ahead and get it, because if you see it in stock, chances are when you come back it might not be in stock, especially now because everybody's struggling so much to get stuff in. And so I got plenty of buckshot to start the season off with anyway. Hopefully it'll last me for a while. You know, this is the yeah, I bought these shells just for the sake of patterning them and see how the gun liked them, and they actually done really well. So I mean, I will shoot these. I got 3 of these 3.5-inch shells left, but this was $13 for these 5-pack. That's crazy. That's too much for shells. And I actually went up there the other day, and the only shells that they had in stock was 3.5-inch 18 pellet, that Winchester Double X, which is that copper plated, you know, fast moving buckshot. And a buddy of mine used to shoot them all the time, and he killed deer with them. They will kill the deer, but it was $18 a box for them things for a 5-pack. I said, oh no, that's just too expensive. But you know, that's what they cost for them things. They think them little things is made out of gold instead of copper plated. Gold coated buckshot pellets is what them is. So you know, that's just too much. I can get a 15-pack of Winchesters from Walmart for like $13-14 once they got them in stock. That or the Federal. You know, I shoot Federal all the time too, and that's the only reason I don't have Federal up in is because they don't have any. You know, buckshot's just kind of hard to come by. But what we'll be shooting the days with on the dog drives. Now, I don't have any of the bird shot that I normally shoot. I have shot the bird shot that I normally shoot out of the Benelli already, and it cycles them just fine. I shot about 3 or 4 boxes out of it. I usually buy the first part of the season. I get them the Winchester white box from Walmart. It's the high velocity lead load is what it's called. It's 1350 feet per second. It's a 1-ounce load and a number 8, and that just absolutely pillowcases birds for me the first part of the season. I very rarely shoot over a box of shells when I shoot them shells, and you know, when you shoot a bird, most of the time he's dead before he hits the ground. You know, I really like those shells. You know, once migratory season comes in, I'll step it up to a 3 1/4, 1 1/8 ounce load, or if it's really struggling to hit them, I'll grab a 3 1/4, 1 1/4 number 8 out of the stove and shoot them with them. And you know, they'll kill birds you know, outstanding. First part of the year, you just don't need that. You know, you can kill them with just about anything, but you don't want to get out there and be winging up a bunch of birds and they get away from you. So migratory season comes around, them birds come from up north, they pretty tough, and you got to pack a little more punch to kill them birds. Phone ringing again. But cut this thing on silent real quick. There we go. I'll call him back. I know who it is now. I'll call him back in a minute. But that is it for the ammunition portion of it. I'm not going to go into my steel hunting rifles and whatnot, not just yet. I might show them to you in a later video, but ain't no need to do that right now. This is about the dog drives and the dove hunting. Now, of course, you know, on the dog drives, I always got my Dans on. Got to have your Dans briar breeches. I wore these all last season, and compared to the old ones I had, they are a freaking dream. These things kept the briars off of me. I didn't have no briars get on me. I had very few get in my feet, because, you know, as any driver knows, these dang zippers on the side here, they will come unzipped, and then briars will be falling in your boots or whatever it is you're wearing, which most of y'all know I wear tennis shoes. I don't wear boots when I'm hunting. Actually, the first part of the year, I'm probably gonna be wearing these Crocs right here. My wife got these for me for Father's Day this year, and I'm telling you, they ugly as homemade sin, but I dang if they ain't comfortable. I'll put these things on here. They always say, if you ain't crocking, you ain't, or if you ain't rocking, you ain't crocking. You gotta get it right. But these are comfortable. You know, I'm guaranteed I'll be wearing these to shoot birds with. I ain't worried about stepping on briars and all out in the dove field. But my driving shoes, you know, I wore them BB1s for a while, and I bought 3 pair of them things, and they would last about 7 or 8 hunts. Like, I'd go out in the woods, they'd get wet, I would rip the soles off of them, my feet would bust through the sides, so I'd end up middle of the ways into the swamp or in the briar thicket with no shoes on and have to walk back out barefoot in my sock feet. And so they wasn't quite holding up the way I was hoping they would, but what can you expect for $15 from Walmart? You know, you can't really expect a whole lot. But last year I wore these all season long just about, and these really stood up to the test of time. These here's just some old Timberland steel toe work shoes that I had bought whenever I was working at my last job, and yeah, I got these to work in, and I wear my slip-on steel toe boots now to work in for the most part, so I just kind of converted these into my hunting shoes. The strings don't come untied on them very easily, and when they do come untied, the knot right here stays pretty firm, so I don't really notice it unless I look down and see they untied. But soles stayed in them. These things got wet probably 100 times during deer season last year, and I never had no issues out of these shoes. They definitely surprised me. I kind of figured they was gonna come apart at the seams, but they did pretty well. So Timberland makes a pretty good boot, a pretty good shoe. Anyway, if they can hold up to what the heck I put it through, it ain't a bad shoe. I can't remember what it costs. You know, the company pays for the shoes, you know, to work with. And I done had these things for 4 or 5 years now, and I just worked in them for a year or two and got me a new pair and put these in the closet. So I was wearing them to hunt in, and they do a really good job, and they light. I can walk around, I can walk miles in the briars in the swamp with these things on and never even know I got them on my feet. All right, that's my footwear and my briar breeches. You know, shooting birds, you always want to be camoed up, have your camouflage on. I don't recommend the face mask. It's too dang hot out there for all that. You don't really need it. I don't wear shades to hunt. I can't shoot with my shades on, so I always take these off. So I'm always out there with no shades on when I'm shooting. I just can't never get it. Can't never get the lead quite right when I got shades on my face. I've always been like that. But you know, run dogs, you got to have some orange on. I got my old lightweight t-shirt here from Hardcore Hounding and Hunting Supplies. Yeah, he sent me that shirt, and I like this shirt. It's nice, lightweight. It's breathable. You don't get too hot in it, and it's bright, nice and bright. People can see me, which they hear me coming 9 times out of 10. They hear me coming anyway. But of course, I always wear me an orange hat. You know, most of the time I actually got an orange hat on instead of an orange shirt. But you know, with this hat here from Carolina Outdoor Products, I mean, it's bright too. I mean, plus, you know, with me hollering, you see this big bright thing coming down through the swamp somewhere, you know who it is. Pretty much self-explanatory. You see orange, don't shoot the orange. Y'all be safe out there. Alright, now, I'll show you my cameras that I'm going to be using. The one I'm recording on now is my GoPro Hero 7 Black, which is a very nice camera. It's got a lot of different features on it that I never really use, but if you do want to use them, you can. It works pretty well. Actually, the last video I made with this was the Edisto River fishing trip me and Daddy went on, and a lot of the footage that I had was pretty much no good because I used this camera to start with, and first time it's ever happened to me, I never did notice it until I got home and went to editing the footage, and it was trash. All of the footage was turned up sideways like that, so apparently the camera was turned up sideways when I hit the start button to start with, and so once I got it back straight, it was still recording in that aggravating, you know, format. It was landscape mode is what I wanted, and it was like a it was up vertical. I don't know, portrait. It was up portrait, and it was ridiculous. Couldn't see anything we was doing, so I just had to delete that footage. I wasn't a way I could fix it. I tried a bunch of ways, and so yeah, I'm rambling now. But this is one of the cameras that I use. This is the very first camera that I got, and I have used this in almost every single one of my videos that I have put up. This is just a basic GoPro Hero, the old base model. You can get that thing for, I don't know how much you can get it for now. It was 150 bucks when my wife bought it for me for Christmas 4 or 5 years ago now. And this thing still ticks on like a time clock. This is a outstanding little camera. I done dropped this thing in the swamp so many times. I done got it wet, dropped it, beat it around, all kinds of stuff. It fell off my head. I left this thing in the bushes at one point. I had to backtrack probably about 200 yards through some nasty behind briars to get it, and I managed to find it. But this here's my trooper. You charge this thing up all the way and on the normal setting, it'll last about a good 2.5 hours on, you know, recording on it. So it does real well. I've really liked this camera since I've got it. And it gets pretty good video. It gets really good video. Now the next one I got is the old GoPro Hero Session. Y'all have probably seen this one before. A lot of the videos I've taken has been on this too. You know, I use all three of my cameras when I'm out running dogs. You know, I'll keep one in my pocket. One will die, I'll take it out of my pocket, slap it on my head, keep it on. And that way I don't miss none of the action. I leave the camera on all the time. That way I don't rarely miss very much unless a battery dies, you know, in transition. But this one has a really good camera too. This one's actually waterproof. I done dropped this one in the river a time or two and managed to get it back. And full battery on this one. You know, these all have internal batteries except for the one I'm recording on. You can actually put external batteries in that one. But these are all just got internal batteries in them. You just charge them up and roll with it. And this one will last about 2 hours, about 1 hour and 50 to 2 hours. You know, depends on if you're out in the hot sun. This is the one you want, this one or that one in there. That's the one I'm recording on. It does not like heat. I have learned I cannot use that one on an opening day dove hunt or any dove hunt during the first part of the season. It will overheat after about 10 minutes and it will cut off and not record anything. And that's just because the way that camera's made, it gets a little hot and overheats, it cuts off. These, I've never had them cut off. I've been out there in 100-degree weather shooting birds. I've been out there in 100-degree weather fishing with these things, and these do not cut off on you. But that one gets a lot better video, audio, tings of that sort. But that's enough of that camera. Now I got my Tacticam here. This is the 3.0. It gets really good video, and it would serve me quite well if I enjoyed using it. I do not like using this camera. It is a nice camera. It is an easy camera to use. You just hit the start button and roll with it. But I bought this thing as a package from on Amazon, and it come with 2 batteries. It come with a memory card and all that. Everything else has been fine. But one of the 2 batteries I got, it quit on me after about a month. I used it 4 or 5 times and it died on me. The battery wouldn't hold the charge. But this one it's lasted a pretty little while. And but the main reason I don't like using this thing is whenever I put it on my shotgun, you know, right here on that gun mount, I'm walking through the briars, gun up on my shoulder or whatever. This thing gets hung on every dang vine and bush and stick that you could ever imagine. So it's just more aggravation than it's worth. Now, if I'm gonna take a stand, and I know I'm gonna take a stand, then I'll slap this in my bag and I'll put it on the gun, but even before I get out into the woods, just to make sure I got it ready to go. And if I hear the dogs coming with a day, I'll cut it on and try to get some better video with it this year, because I'm gonna have my youngin' with me a pretty good bit. You know, she'll be out there with me, and you know, she's old enough now where she can go out there and enjoy it, not be miserable the whole time, getting eat up by the bugs and being cold and everything else. And she'll have fun. She had fun last year, and we're gonna have a good time this year. But yeah, I'd use this when I know I'm gonna be taking a stand. If I'm driving, no go. I don't use it. Alrighty, I think that's about everything. You know, it's coming up on us pretty quick. I hope everybody's out there has been safe with this pandemic that's been going on. You know, we've been off and on from work. You know, we work a week, be off for 2, work 2 weeks, be off for a week. So it's been up and down with us. You know, I'm sure as that's been for everybody else. You know, it's a lot of our family's been out of work because of it. But, you know, the good Lord, He takes care of us, so we ain't too much worried about it. This is Big Pencil, and we will be back with another one soon.